Bookstores. By the Emerald Queen Casino, presenting Gordon Lightfoot June 26th. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. By Alaska Airlines, enjoy free entertainment on your personal device. Learn more at alaskaair.com. And by Safeco Insurance, find a local agent at safeco.com. Do more. Well, we will not be seeing Steven Souza Jr., a local product out of Everett, at least tonight. Maybe a chance to see him as a pinch runner. He dinged up his wrist, but he's gotten off to a nice start for Kevin Cash and the Tampa Bay Rays. Of course, he made headlines last year on the final game of the season. That fantastic over-the-shoulder catch to preserve a no-hitter for Jordan Zimmerman, game 162 of the season. So Souza now in his first year here in Tampa Bay. Now, welcome back. Happy Memorial Day, a heartfelt Memorial Day as well from inside Tropicana Field. Aaron Goldsmith, Mike Flowers. And Mike, this is an interesting Tampa Bay Rays team so far this year. They are in first place in a very jumbled and tightly woven American League East. But as we can see here, you see the record. Their pitchers have been off the charts despite just a bushel of injuries.
Well, their bullpen has been excellent, but a 3.53, that's good enough for second in the American League. Look for this in the series, though. They have a lot of young players in their lineup. 361 strikeouts. That is second best in the American League. They have punched out a lot, and I think with the way the Mariners pitching staff is going right now, you can see a lot of swing and misses from the Rays in this series.
We've got Rowan Elias going tonight. The Mariners right now 3 up, 3 down on this 9-game, 3-city road trip. The final leg begins here tonight from St. Petersburg, Florida. It's the Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays. First pitch is yours right after this. Well, it might still be the month of May, but it is hot. It is muggy here in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the Mariners travel to play the first of this 3-game series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Right now, the first place in the American League East, a game and a half on top of the Yankees. Meanwhile, the Mariners 3 games under 500. By now, 4th place in the American League West. All set to go for the first pitch here tonight is Jake Odorizzi. The right-hander comes home, and his first pitch is in there for a strike. Smith, Miller, and Cano due up for the Mariners. Odorizzi turning 25 years old in late March. Originally a farmhand with the Royals. 0-2 quickly on Smith. Odorizzi from Breese, Illinois, in southern Illinois, much closer to Busch Stadium than to Wrigley Field. Only about an hour outside of downtown St. Louis. Made his big league debut with the Royals at the ripe age of 22, then came over to Tampa Bay in the trade for Will Myers and James Shields.
For Odorizzi, you're going to see a fastball will be in the low 90s, 92. At times he will hit 94. But somewhere between 90 and 92 miles an hour. Has all the pitches. Will throw a slider, a curveball, and a split. And you're going to see a lot of splits from him. In his last outing, he was almost 45% splits. That is an awful lot.
Right up the middle. And booted there. And is Beckham. So Smith is aboard at first base.
Take a look at the rest of the lineup brought to you by Chevron. Following Smith, it will be Brad Miller playing in left field. Then it is Cano, Cruz, the DH, hitting cleanup. Kyle Seager, 10-game hitting streak for Kyle, 378 average with 3 home runs. Ruggiano, he's 2 for 3 off of Odorizzi with the home run, so he's in the lineup. Morrison, Taylor, and Zunino rounding out the 9. Take a look at the pitch selection for Odorizzi. You can see on the season 44% fastballs, but look at that, 33% split fingers, mixing his slider and occasional curveball.
That's a big influence of Alex Cobb, now lost for the season with Tommy John. Cobb with that splitter or that split change, depending on who you ask. So Odorizzi learning from one of the many members of the Rays rotation that is on the disabled list. In fact, they began the regular season with 4 members of the rotation on the DL.
And Cobb, of course, out for the season. Tommy John surgery, so they will not get him back. The good news for him is Odorizzi has pitched deep into ball games for the Rays. And that's something that they've had to have. You mentioned the rotation and all the guys that they're missing. So they've had to use their bullpen quite a bit. Their bullpen has been effective. It's pitched well. But Odorizzi typically will give them a day off.
That's something that Kevin Cash, the new manager for the Rays, said that he likes most about Odorizzi is his consistency. It seems like every single time, 7 innings, 2 runs. In fact, his last start was the first time that he did not go 7. He went 6 against the Atlanta Braves. And Brad Miller, 4-pitch walk. So the Mariners quickly have 2 on without a hit. It was an error on Beckham on a ball put in play by Smith. Now a 4-pitch walk to Miller.
And take a look at the defense for the Rays. Elmore in left field. Kiermaier is in center. Geyer out in right. Longoria, the veteran, at third base. Beckham and Franklin. Nick Franklin, the former Mara, at second base. Forsythe at first. James Loney, the normal first baseman, on the disabled list. Rene Rivera will do the catching.
A look at Kevin Cash, born and raised right here in Tampa Bay. 37 years old, the youngest manager in the major leagues right now. Parts of 8 years in the big leagues as a catcher. Good chance here for Cano with 2 on and nobody out. And Robinson talking about his 0 for 11 skid in Toronto, hitless in that series. He was very honest about it. He said, listen, I'm just not hitting pitches that I should hit.
No, and he's right. Pitches that are out over the plate that he normally handles, he's missing them, and then they go to work on him, typically throwing some pitches off the plate that they've been able to get him to chase. And there's a good split. One of the things that I talk about all the time, you look at him, career 300 hitter, just really is about as consistent as you can get, but he's still going to go through a stretch where things are going to be difficult. The thing that you have to hope is for him to get back to that 300 average. That means he's going to get really hot, and I know that's something that Lloyd McClendon would like to see.
Well, he likes hitting here since 2010, batting .331 here at St. Pete. And still 0-2.
And these are the situations, Aaron, that I would like to see the Mariners take advantage of. Cabrera, who has been playing shortstop, has a groin issue, so he's out. So they put Beckham in. He makes an error right away. Again, the Rays #1 in defense. And then, of course, the walk. And if you look at Odorizzi, he doesn't walk guys. He typically will throw a lot of strikes. So the Mariners catching a break here in the first inning. You'd like to see him cash that in.
You're at only 10 walks over about 60 innings entering tonight. The 0-2. And you can see what the game plan is from Odorizzi to Cano.
Well, and I think the other thing, too, with his fastball, because he throws so many splits, his fastball, even though it's only 92 miles an hour, it's going to look much quicker to the hitters because they will have that split in the back of their mind.
Cano into right field for a base hit. Smith to third. Donnelly waving him home. Smith down the line, and he scores standing. So Robinson Cano, hitless in Toronto, picks up an RBI single in his first at-bat here in St. Pete. Mariners have an early lead, 1-0.
Well, Aaron, you mentioned it. Cano has hit well in this ballpark, and sometimes that's what it takes. You get to a place that you're comfortable in. You know that you've had a lot of success. Your confidence is high, and this is going to be another split left out over the plate. He does an excellent job of keeping his hands back just long enough to not roll over that pitch and end up hitting a line drive into right, driving the first run for the Mariners.
And still nobody out. Mariners threatening with runners on the corners for Nelson Cruz. Strike one to Cruz.
Right-handed hitters in the lineup today are going to have a bit of a tough time. Odorizzi against right-handed hitters this year they're just hitting 167. He has given up just 2 home runs this year, but both of those home runs to right-handed hitters. But overall average just 167 against him.
It's ahead of Nelson with the first pitch. And it's 0-2. Well, on paper, this does not look like a good matchup for the Mariners. A team struggling to hit with runners in scoring position. Odorizzi has been lights out with men at second and third base. Opponents hitting less than 150 against Odorizzi with runners in scoring position. But Nelson Cruz,
it's a Felix type number.
It really is. That's a good point. That's a good comparison, at least in that category. But Cruz getting the hit, the single to right field with Smith at second. They give the Mariners an early lead.
One of the things I was talking on the pregame show on radio side, Aaron, with this series and looking at it, and you see the strengths right away for the Rays of pitching in their defense, but they've struggled hitting. And if you look at their numbers, just 241 with runners in scoring position, and a big part of that was James Loney hitting 370, and now on the disabled list, it looked like a pretty even matchup going into it.
This is center field. Kiermaier can't get there nearly in time. Miller scores, and the Mariners have hung a crooked number up on Odorizzi before making it out. It's 2-0. Another RBI for Nelson Cruz.
It's a high fastball out over the plate. That looked like the cut fastball. He will throw a cutter from time to time, and 88 miles an hour. Nelly's staying with it, and he'll pick up an RBI.
So Cano in his second base. The first 4 men have reached: an error, a walk, and a couple of singles. And here comes scorching red hot Kyle Seager. Seager a 10-game hitting streak as he looks at strike one. Batting nearly 380 during that streak, and you can see here a career best 19-game on base streak. And Seager behind 0-2. Roenis Elias waiting patiently. He will take the run support, though. No, it's second. Cruz aboard at first. Just got a piece. Now, for Odorizzi so far this year, in his previous 9 starts, he had allowed a total of 2 runs in the first inning. So the Mariners have matched that number here tonight. And there are still 3 outs to give. The 0-2, a little bit high.
You'll see that quite a bit, too, from Odorizzi. He will throw his fastball at the top of the strike zone or elevate it, try to get you to chase it.
This really seems to be a strength of his, working all the different quadrants of the strike zone.
Yeah, we'll show you the EQC tracer throughout the game, and when you look at that box, he basically works all the red lines all the way around it. So many pitchers just pitch on the edges of the plate, whether it's inside or outside, Aaron, or they try to work at the bottom of the zone. He'll be right up there at the top, working the top of the zone quite a bit, probably a little more than we're used to seeing. That pitch just missing the outside corner, a little bit too close for Kyle to take.
Seager a chance with 2 on, nobody out. Reaching for it, has some carry out to left center. Kiermaier tracks it down for out number 1. And everybody stays put. Cano at second and Cruz at first base. Last year we saw Kiermaier in right field, and his emergence really made Will Myers a little more expendable. Of course, they gave up James Shields to bring Myers over from Kansas City, one of the top prospects in baseball at the time. Kiermaier has since been moved to center field, and Kevin Cash saying earlier today from inside his office that Kiermaier is a natural center fielder and covers just about everything.
We had a chance to see him last year, and he was flying around the field. He can really run. He has a strong throwing arm, so keep that in mind, especially now that the Mariners have Cano out there in running or in scoring position.
Here's the former Tampa Bay Ray, Justin Ruggiano, on the first pitch to Longoria on at second base. And there's a double play. Right to Longoria at third base, but the Mariners will take 2 runs off of Odorizzi. We're through 1/2 inning. The Mariners lead it 2-0 in a row, and it's Elias about to climb the mound. So far today, an RBI single to help the Mariners take an early 2-0 lead against Jake Odorizzi and the Tampa Bay Rays. And speaking of the Rays, Mike, having a look at Kevin Cash's starting lineup tonight.
For the new manager, Brandon Guyer is going to lead off. Then is Joey Butler, the DH, hitting second. Evan Longoria, 8-game hitting streak for Evan. A .323 average with 7 RBIs over that. And keep in mind also a .414 hitter against left-handed pitching. Forsythe, Beckham, and Elmore in the middle of the alignment. Piermore, former Mariner Nick Franklin will hit 8th, and then Rene Rivera, the catcher, batting 9th.
I've talked so much about the injuries for the Tampa Bay Rays. They suffered 3 last night against Oakland as Guyer swats the first pitch, but right in line with Brad Miller for round number 1.
For Elias, he has really pitched well this year. A 1-1 record, could probably have a few more wins. Look at his ERA, 2.76 ERA, 25 strikeouts over 32 and 2/3, 9 walks. Want to stay away from the walks here. Opponent's hitting .264 against Elias. American Family Insurance defensive setup. Again, Miller is in left field. Kyle Seager at third. Taylor and Cano playing up the middle. Morrison is your first baseman, and Mike Zunino will do the catching. Seth Smith out in right.
It's Joey Butler at the plate. Looks at strike 1. Elias coming off of one of the best starts of his career. Tonight marks only his 35th major league start. Keep that in mind. He's 26 years old, out of Guantanamo, Cuba. Nearly pitched 8 full innings in Baltimore, allowed just a run, settled for 7 2/3.
It's interesting, Aaron, because on this road trip, I've heard you throw similar numbers out for the starting pitching because it's Elias, it's Walker, and it's Paxton with the lack of experience. Talented people, but they don't have a lot of experience at this level.
Well, of those 3, Elias is the elder statesman with 35 starts. But you could say the sky's the limit for each of them. And Elias, we mentioned it earlier in the broadcast, The curveball is the first thing that comes to mind when you think about last year, as you can see Taiwan and James Paxton off to his right, to his left. But the changeup has really been the pitch.
And that was a good one right there at the bottom of the strike zone.
Butler, a longtime minor leaguer, pops this pitch up into right field. Seth Smith getting the start out there tonight. Round number 2.
Take a look at the roof here in this ballpark, and we saw the high fly ball, and you can see there's a lot of scaffolding and things that are going on here. And actually at the ball, they have these lines that come down for foul territory, and if the ball hits up there and it's in fair territory, you can actually play it off of that. It can ricochet and you can go make a catch. If it hits in foul territory, it's a dead ball. And then if you hit the scaffolding in one of the last 2 rings out towards left field, right field, or center field, that will be an automatic home run. So the infielders, and I saw Lloyd McClendon before the game going over all the rules with the roof, but if it hits up there in fair territory, you are going to have an opportunity to make the catch if you can. If it lands up there in foul territory and ricochets back, it's a dead ball.
And every once in a while you see a catwalk home run. Edgar Martinez had the first back in 1998. 2 balls and a strike. Make that a ball and 2 strikes to Longoria, just clipping the edge. Longoria has been a run producer. 7 RBIs in his last 8 games as you take a look at the catwalk here.
For the most part, and hopefully in this series, that roof will not come into play. As far as all of those things up to the catwalks. They have had a game in, though. 1 hit up there, and the ball was caught and the game was over, so you have to be aware of it. And I'm sure that Lloyd talked to all the fielders about it as you see this ground ball out to short.
Routine play for Taylor. 3 up, 3 down. And pretty easy start so far for Rorenis Elias as we go to the second. The Mariners have a 2-0 lead. Steel. To find your local Steel dealer, visit steeldealer.com. By BNSF Railway, sponsor of the BNSF Blast. And by Volkswagen, hurry in and get a deal during the Volkswagen Stop Dreaming, Start Driving event. We promise this footage has been sped up. We were not driving this fast. Another warm and muggy day here in St. Petersburg, Florida. And there's a reason why they play indoors here, isn't it, Mike?
Air conditioning. And they needed it today. Well over 90 degrees with the humidity. Wow.
Logan Morrison to straightaway center field. And one out right to Kiermaier. You know, Kevin Kremen, our favorite producer engineer on radio, told me a tale below that it was one day so hot here when the Mariners were in town that the two of you were golfing and you called it quits after 8 innings. It was that hot.
I'm not even sure it was 8 innings.
Oh, pardon me, 8 holes. Sorry. Getting our sports mixed up here.
Yeah. No, we went out thinking that we were going to play golf, and we had an off day, and then just decided it was too hot. That was it.
Well, there's definitely when you
I brought it up too, by the way. I'll admit it. I'm the one that brought up saying, and I did not get one person say, "Oh, let's play some more." Everybody was fine.
You definitely look at the calendar every year and see what time of the month you come to St. Pete. If you're here April to May, even late May, like right now, it's all right. But once you come here in the summer,
it's too much.
It's too much.
Yeah.
1 ball and 1 strike to Chris Taylor. We've seen some nice improvements the last 2 games, 2 hits each of the last 2 times out for Taylor, and he's made some adjustments.
Hands a little bit higher. I think the one thing that I noticed with him, and people probably remember this too, on the homestand, he was hitting a lot of fly balls out towards the warning track and right, and typically the barrel is lagging behind, and you're dipping, and for him, to just raise his hands up, try to get him on top of the ball a little bit, and we've seen him hit the ball in the line, even when he's hitting it to right field, being able to get back on top of it. So he's making some adjustments. He'll continue to make adjustments. He's a young player, and I like to hear that, and I think that's something that you have to do. Howard Johnson, I'm sure, was keeping a close eye on him when he first came up here. Let him play a little bit. Most hitters, after a hitting coach sees you for the first or second time, that's not enough. They need to watch you for a little while. Now they're starting to get into that program of making adjustments, and once he's comfortable with those, maybe there's some other tweak that they have to make, but it's all part of the process. There's Howard. Does a really good job with these guys on the hitting side of things.
2 outs for Mike Zunino. Zunino had a day off behind home plate yesterday. It was Wellington Castillo who got the start for the Mariners, and Mike has really had success after a day's worth of rest this season, batting over 300. Deep fly ball, but in Kiermaier's range, nearly to the warning track. And that'll be it for the Mariners. A 1-2-3, top of the second. We're through 1.5 here inside Tropicana Field. 2-0 Mariners. Bottom of the second here in St. Petersburg. Logan Forsythe, the first baseman for the Rays, will lead things off. And it looks like Forsythe will see some extended playing time at first base. James Loney, a sprained finger, really has turned out to be a break of the finger. He is on the disabled list for 4 to 6 weeks. And Forsythe, the second baseman, it will now be the first baseman for the Rays. And just the way the schedule works out, because the Mariners see the Rays here, and then they will see Tampa Bay when the Mariners return home for 11-game homestand against Cleveland, New York, and Tampa Bay. The Mariners will not see James Loney this year, cleanup hitter.
Which helps a lot. Again, Loney, the first baseman, was hitting .370 with runners in scoring position. The Rays as a team were hitting .241. So So you take that out of the mix, and that really hurts them. So it's actually a good break for the Mariners.
There's no question about that. Elias ahead, and it's 2-2. If John Jaso would have been healthy, instead he's on the 60-day disabled list, there was a chance that maybe you would have seen Jaso at first base instead of Forsythe. But Jaso was the first man down in the regular season for the Rays. He lasted less than a full inning as he hurt his wrist sliding to second base in the first inning on opening day as Elias gets his first strikeout. A curveball there to Forsythe.
I think the outing that we saw Elias in Baltimore was one of the better ones that I've seen from him. And I know he's probably had better games, but he went 7 2/3, gave up 6 hits, just 1 earned run, did not walk anybody. That was a big key for him. And he had 4 strikeouts. But I thought that the use of his changeup and his location with his fastball, speeding hitters up, it was one of the, there's another good changeup. It was really good. So he's gaining a lot of confidence in his changeup.
This is Tim Beckham getting the start today because as Dribble Cabrera a little banged up. He's day to day with a groin injury. He suffered that last night and a loss to the A's. Slaps this to right center field and it drops in for a base hit. Smith plays it on a hop. Now we take a look at our Delta Airlines keep climbing standings. A glance around the American League West as the Mariners entering today a half game outside of the Texas Rangers, and it was 4 weeks ago today that the Angels traded Josh Hamilton to the Texas Rangers, and tonight as we speak he is in the big leagues with the Texas Rangers. 0 for 3 so far. Athletics,
I believe they're in Cleveland, aren't they, the Rangers?
That sounds right. Yes, they are.
Well, they were having their issues at the beginning of the year, but Chu and Fielder have both really picked it up for them.
Now Fielder right now batting .358. That's the top average in the American League. You're right. They both caught fire.
In fact, when we were there, they sat Chu down for a while because he was struggling so badly. So
they basically rested him for the entire series.
Right.
That was a 3-game sweep by the Mariners. Beckham, the first base runner today, allowed by Elias. Rowan is set down the side in order in the first. Got Forsythe to strike out. Now facing Jake Elmore. Elmore, the Rays representing his 4th team in 4 years. We saw him back in 2013 with the Astros. And he's ahead 2-0. Also has seen time in recent years with Arizona, also with Cincinnati. A former 48th round draft pick in 2007 by the Marlins. A lot of versatility. Elias is making his 2nd career start against Tampa Bay. Last year he faced the Rays in the month of June and he pitched one of his deepest ball games. He went 7 2/3. It was right here in St. Pete. The Mariners won that game 7-4. Elias 4 runs on 5 hits, gave up a couple of homers. One to Longoria in the lineup. Lloyd looking on. Right now Mariners 3-3 on the road trip.
See Trent Jewett giving signs to Mike Zunino, the catcher. And when I say he's giving him signs, he's not calling the game for Mike. Basically what he's doing is he'll tell him if he wants him to pitch out, to throw over to first base, keep the runner close, that sort of thing. It has nothing to do with whether he's going to throw a fastball or a changeup. Mike Zunino calls the game, but Trent will let them know, or if Elias just holds the ball, change things up for the base runner. And we've talked a lot about the Rays and their pitching and their defense for good reason. Offensively, they've had their struggles this year, but they are 6th in the league in stolen bases, so you have to keep an eye on Beckham over at first.
He's demanding a lot of attention right now. Two balls and 2 strikes to Elmore. Only 13 at-bats so far this season in the big leagues. And it's a full count. The Rays, a very young franchise. This is only their 18th season of existence. Last year finishing 4th in the American League East. 8 games under 500. But right now, top spot in the division by a game and a half on top of the Yankees. And Lomo the tag, and that was close. And Lomo thinks he got him.
Yeah, he wants him to take a look at it, so he signaled into Lloyd. And we typically, when Logan, I would say he's probably got about an 85% rate of getting it right. So we'll see what happens on this one.
We'll take a look.
We'll take a look at it. And Beckham was certainly leaning, and they had plenty of time to put the tag on him.
Now, Elias, in the meantime, has stepped off the mound, and here comes Lloyd.
Brian Gorman, the first base umpire. Take a look at the sleeve. See if he gets the sleeve. There he is. Nicks it before his fingers get in there. So hopefully that'll be enough for the umpires. But a good move from Elias.
At one point, before Beckham actually went with the headlong dive, he almost looked like he kind of gave up on it, like he knew he was cooked, but then decided to make the lunge.
I think he was unsure. I think he took a little stutter step, Aaron, towards second base, and then he just froze and still wasn't sure if Elias was coming over to first or not.
So the Mariners officially challenging this, and from what we have seen, for good reason. Brian Gorman is the crew chief of this 4-man umpiring crew. He's in his 24th year. As we take another glance.
Completely fooled him.
Yeah. Now Beckham has been the only base runner so far. Granted, we're playing only the bottom of the second. But this is a good challenge by Lloyd. And he has to feel some confidence when you see Logan Morrison that adamantly say to challenge that quickly.
The other thing, we were just talking about Trent Jewett giving signs to whether they were going to throw over, pitch out, hold the ball. And a 3-2, a lot of teams will run on a 3-2 count with 1 out, trying to stay out of a double play. So a good call on Trent's part to have Elias throw over, and it was one of the better moves we've seen from him.
Now taking some time.
I think this is a tougher one. We saw just a little bit of the sleeve, and was his finger in there? Was it the Logan's glove that caused that sleeve to jump up a little bit? That's a tough one. I think he was able to get the sleeve. This is the one thing, of course, Elias would like to have the out, but standing around the middle of the diamond for a long period of time is not something he wants to do.
And he's safe.
Oh, wow. Surprised. Thought maybe they had it.
We'll take a look from up top. It's obviously close. Ruled safe.
I still think he had him. It looked like he had him. That was the best look we had.
That was a good look. Try it again. Why not? Beckham more ready for it this time. Three balls and 2 strikes to Elmore. Batting 6th in the lineup tonight. Tying run at the plate in Elmore. And it's ball 4. So with 1 out, 2 men on base now for Kiermaier. Kiermaier last year really enjoyed a breakout season. Hit nearly 265 and took over for Will Myers. Remember last year Will Myers missed about 70 games with the wrist injury. He's right now on the disabled list with the wrist injury once again with San Diego. But it was Kiermaier who really became a star in right field as he rolls over to Cano, to Taylor, to Lomo. Not in time.
We were talking about Kiermaier and his speed, and you're going to see Cano go to his left, and as soon as he went to his left, I thought this was going to be a difficult double play to try and turn. Chris Taylor with a good arm is able to clear himself and put something on the throw, but he clearly beats it.
2 outs now, runners on the corners for Nick Franklin. Franklin recently off the disabled list, suffered from an oblique injury. Tonight playing in just his 7th game for the Rays. Part of the Austin Jackson deal last year at the deadline. Tampa Bay really had some thoughts of putting Franklin at shortstop this year. But Franklin had some troubles defensively during spring training. As Dribble Cabrera, they were planning on putting at second, but Cabrera had a strong spring, so he became the shortstop, and of course Franklin then a little banged up. And he falls behind 0-2. Elias a chance for his second strikeout. Franklin represents the go-ahead run.
Come on, Franklin, you own this guy. Let's go.
It's Beckham at third, Kiermaier at first. Two balls and 2 strikes.
And it looks as if Elias wants to get him out with an off-speed pitch. That was a good fastball, well in off the plate, just to show it to him, move him around a little bit, see if he goes down and away with the changeup again.
Soft lob to first base. Franklin, of course, from Florida, makes his home in Orlando, where his family is.
And he came back with the changeup. Not able to locate that changeup. Wasn't able to get it down and away. Ended up right on the inside corner. A little bit easier for Franklin to get to that pitch. He was able to get a piece of it.
Elias trying to dance around 2 on with 2 out. And his 2-2 pitch. The opposite way. Here comes Seth Smith. And he falls to the knees, but he makes the catch. That'll do it for the Tampa Bay Rays. They strand runners at first and third as Elias wiggles out of a bit of a jam. We're off to the third, and St. Pete Mariners still clinging to a 2-0 lead. A very happy Memorial Day to everybody back home as we celebrate from St. Petersburg, Florida. And of course, a heartfelt thank you to all the men and women who have served our country and helped Mike to be able to make it so we can sit here and watch a baseball game.
Well, that's a big day in our family. My dad was in the service for 30 years. And I'm sure he's home watching the game right now.
Well deserved. Smith falls behind 0-2. And as you might have been able to notice today, the Mariners and the Rays wearing special uniforms, the bill of the ball caps, and also the embroidery across the chest, the digital camo, an initiative by Major League Baseball. All 30 teams wearing uniforms similar to that today all around the country. Good look at it there. Two balls and two strikes. Smith reached on an error by Beckham to begin the ball game. He then came home on Cano's RBI single. And down on strikes. The splitter once again. That's been a good pitch early on for Odorizzi. Join Major League Baseball in helping those veterans who have done so much to help us. Log on to MLBcommunity.org or welcomebackveterans.org for more information on how you can make a difference. One up, one down. As Odorizzi gets his second strikeout, both have come on the splitter. And that brings in Brad Miller. Strike one. Now for Miller, the last 9 games he has played in now 6 different positions. And he's been thriving offensively the whole time.
I think that's where you have to give him a lot of credit. And it's also the reason why he's in the lineup every day. But it's not easy to do what he has done for anybody. But then to be productive on top of that, I think you have to give Brad a lot of credit with him dealing with all the different changes he's been going through and still being a force offensively.
A ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, the count stays put. Mariners have won 9 of their last 15. Entering this game tonight at 20-23. Right now 4th place in the division. Astros on top, then the Angels. Rangers have taken a half-game lead. Of course, an 11-game homestand right around the corner for the Mariners. Cano ready on deck. And Miller down on strikes. This time a fastball. Third punch out for Odorizzi, and the first 2 sat down via the strikeout.
Fastball, you can see it starts on the outside corner. Tremendous run on that fastball. Appeared to be a strike on the corner, and it just disappeared on Brad. Pretty good movement on the pitch.
Cano jolts it foul for strike 1.
Cano was able to handle the split. He ended up getting a split, and he hit it hard into right field to pick up a base hit and an RBI in the first inning.
Well, just like the first 2 ballparks on this trip, Camden Yards and then Rogers Center, Cano has spent a lot of time right here as well because of his time with the Yankees in the division. A ball and 2 strikes. Odorizzi now in his 2nd full season as a starter. Last year an ERA just above 4.10. And really, when spring training began, Odorizzi was etched on paper to be the number 4 starter. He has really become the number 2 starter behind Chris Archer, who we'll see later in this series. Cano to center. This has some life to it, but Kiermaier able to circle there in time and make the catch. Just enough space. Cano allowed out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for the second straight inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Mariners still holding the lead. Mikey came early tonight in the first inning, and it was Cano to get things started.
Yeah, good to see. Game starts off with an error by the Rays. So Smith is able to reach, then a walk, and Cano comes up with a big base hit, and then Nelson Cruz on a cutter up and away from him, another base hit to drive in Miller, so the Mariners able to score early in the ball game.
Here was Rene Rivera, the former Mariner, second-round pick back in 2001 to lead things off in the bottom of the third. He's batting ninth tonight. 1 ball and 1 strike. Rivera debuted for the Mariners 3 years after he was drafted. Really just played in a handful of games with Seattle, then became a free agent. His first year in Tampa Bay, coming over from San Diego in the Will Myers deal. One ball and 2 strikes. Down swinging. The curveball once again has dazzled early on tonight from Elias.
Elias has great command of his fastball, and of course the changeup, and it was good to see the breaking ball. Take a look at the roof again. We talked about all of the metal that's up there and with the rules with it, but this is interesting. The roof here is a lot like the Metrodome, and when the ball goes up, it's difficult to see it. And then they have the lower bank of lights. We saw Seth Smith go to his knees trying to make a play. So that medium fly ball, you'll see the outfielders, sometimes they will lose it in the lights. And I'm sure that Seth did on that play, was able to stay with it. And then on Cano's ball, the ball he hit to center field to end the inning. Kiermaier, as a center fielder, normally you're taught to run to a spot, turn around and pick up the ball. He never took his eye off the ball because he didn't want to lose it up in that roof.
This is Geyer. He falls behind 0-2.
There's a look at it. So after they rub up the baseball, a lot of times it can be almost the same color as that roof is.
Not an easy task. 2 strikeouts for Elias tonight, both coming on the hook. And the left-hander's 0-2. Went with the curveball again, but this time missing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Geyer getting the start tonight in place of Everett native Steven Souza Jr. Souza, a strain of the left wrist in last night's loss to the Oakland A's. Geyer has started every game with the leadoff spot against left-handed pitchers. As now Zunino comes out. Well, there's no question that on this road trip, 3 wins, 3 losses, the easy thread has been starting pitching. And the Mariners 3 wins, starters 4 runs over just about 21 innings. In the 3 losses, 10 runs over about 13 innings. Now the one caveat to that is Jay Happ could only pitch 2 innings, allowed 4 runs because of the rain delay in Baltimore and that first inning grand slam. Pitching coach Rick Waits watching from the dugout. And between Cano and Logan Morrison, and with 2 strikes and 1 out, Geyer is aboard. One hop your way home. Take Link Light Rail to the airport for just $3. Schedules available at soundtransit.org. Second hit tonight for the Rays. Both have been singles. 1 out, 1 on for Joey Butler. Butler's got some pop. He's the tying run. Butler was drafted and developed by the Texas Rangers. Had just a brief cup of coffee with Texas and back in 2013. Then last year, a few games with St. Louis. And it's 0-2. Now things have slowed down a little bit when Elias has allowed a base runner. It hasn't happened much so far tonight, but a couple of times, of course, a lot of throws to keep an eye on Beckham. The 0-2. Foul ball over towards Seager.
And another good changeup from Elias. See our EQC tracer, that pitch down towards the outside corner.
Nothing but strikes so far to Butler. Snap throw, tag applied, he's safe. That's not something we see Zunino do a whole lot of.
I was thinking the same thing, Aaron, and I'm wondering if maybe Logan Morrison put this play on. He started to cheat back towards the bag before Zunino threw the ball, and he's clearly safe, but.
And strike 3 to Butler. Third strikeout from Elias. Once again, the curveball. So 2 outs this inning, both with curves, and of course the strikeout earlier to Forsythe. So 3 punch outs. Geyer still at first base for Longoria. Now Longoria, an 8-game hitting streak. And really, when you take a look at this lineup card from Kevin Cash, Longoria is one of the few names that you can really say, oh yeah, he's a Tampa Bay Ray.
Well, and not only that, I'm sure they went over it when they went over the lineup today, and Elias was going through each hitter. This is the one that they circled.
Behind 0-2.
You mentioned Longoria, an 8-game hitting streak, so he's been a hot hitter. And coming into the game, hitting .417 against left-handed pitching.
Longoria, the tying run. He's got 5 home runs so far this year. Keeping an eye on Geyer, who's singled to right field. Geyer this season, 5 steals in 6 tries. Zunino, a quick chat.
I think it's a good move. with Elias, we've seen him throw over a bunch. Some of it maybe coming from the dugout. Some of it is certainly him wanting to throw over to first base. And I think Mike wants him now 0-2 with Longoria. Let's bear down on this hitter. Don't get so caught up on the runner at first.
Gets him swinging, and with that, Elias strikes out the side as he gets Longoria with the changeup. He strands Geyer at first base. Elias 4 punch outs over the first 3 innings. We're out to the 4th in St. Pete. Mariners on top. Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by USAA. For those who gave everything that we may breathe free, we honor you. Here tonight from St. Petersburg, Florida. Once again, a happy Memorial Day. Aaron Goldsmith, Mike Blowers, our entire Root Sports crew from Tropicana Field as the Mariners open up this 3-game series to wrap up the road trip. Nelson Cruz leading things off. Odorizzi will face the middle third of the order. Cruz, Seager, and Ruggiano. Cruz an RBI single in the first inning. That made it 2-0 where we stand right now. For Nelson, RBI number 35. Entering today, Kendrys Morales of the Royals, former Mariner, leading the league. Odorizzi with 3 strikeouts so far. Is 1-2. And making 4 punch outs. Gets him looking. Odorizzi has fanned 3 of the last 4 hitters that he's faced.
That's why it was so important for the Mariners to take advantage of the first inning. We talked about the Rays being #1 in fielding. Their regular shortstop Cabrera out. Beckham makes an error. Odorizzi, who really doesn't walk many batters, walks a batter right after that. You need to take advantage of it. They were able to do that because he looks like he's starting to settle in.
He's retired now 9 in a row, speaking of that. In fact, he's not allowed a base runner since the RBI single by Cruz. Now facing Kyle Seager, looking to extend a 10-game hitting streak.
Rays have the shift on with Kyle hitting.
Now there's no doubt the Rays, one of the early adopters of the shift. Part of the mad scientist, Joe Maddon. And his long reign here of 9 seasons. Now on to the north side of Chicago with the Cubs. Ball and 2 strikes to Seager. The 1-2 rolls over to first base. Forsythe, easy play, 2 outs. 2 up, 2 down. Now we take a look now at our CenturyLink What's Next. It'll be Colome for the Tampa Bay Rays, and Jay Happ. We mentioned it a few moments ago. Only 2 innings in his last start because of the rain in Baltimore. Looking for a lengthier start. No threat of rain delay here inside the Trop.
I think he'll be okay with that, Aaron. Looking for Jay to go 7, maybe 8 innings. This is what he's consistently done this year outside of the rain. Really pitched well for the Mariners. Been consistent.
Ruggiano at the plate with 2 outs, and he looks at strike 1.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the Rays have the shift on with Ruggiano hitting, right-handed hitter. That's rare.
Now, normally you would think Dustin Ackley would be in the lineup in center field, facing the righty in Odorizzi. Pretty small sample size, but Ruggiano 2 for 3 with a home run against Odorizzi, and that was enough for Lloyd. Has had some success. Ruggiano was drafted and developed early in his minor league career by the Dodgers, but then it was traded to Tampa Bay in 07. Made his debut that year in the big leagues with the Rays. Parts of 3 seasons here in St. Pete. Full count with 2 outs. And if Ruggiano can reach, Lomo would be next. No walk so far tonight for, 1 walk for Odorizzi. Make it 2. That snaps the string of 10 in a row, sacked down by the right-handed starter of the Tampa Bay Rays. The Mariners have a base runner for the first time since the first inning. That brings in Logan Morrison.
Rays outfield, all of them are playing deep just in front of the warning track. They don't want to give up a double here with 2 outs. Evan Ruggiano, who runs well, give him an opportunity to score, so they're going to play a little bit deeper.
Lomo batting 7th tonight. Looks at ball 1. Now the Rays this year 2nd in the American League in terms of rotation ERA. Only the Royals better. The bullpen has been solid for Tampa Bay as well. 1 ball and 1 strike. You take a look at their overall ERA. Kansas City, their pitching dominance from last season has certainly carried over to this. The Astros certainly a surprise there based on what we've seen in recent years, but the start has been for Houston. Keeping an eye on Ruggiano, he's safe.
The Mariners are 10th in the American League in stolen bases, and I think we'll see that number change a little bit when they're able to get Austin Jackson back in the lineup.
Bunt up the line, and with that, a base hit for Logan Morrison. This is something we saw Lomo really try to do early in the season against the shift. We've seen Kyle Seager do it with success, and that was a beauty.
Yeah, Kyle started doing it last year, and these guys will pick their spots, and this is a good spot for it because you get the runner moved up Ruggiano into scoring position now. Logan will pick up the base hit. Longoria with the shift on was playing out towards the shortstop position. He didn't even try to make a play on a pretty good bunt. You want to bunt it firmly enough to where you get it past the pitcher, and Logan able to do that. A little bit easier on the turf to drop down a bunt like that.
That brings in Chris Taylor. 2 outs and 2 on. Mariners trying to play some add-on at this top of the 4th. If Lomo had dropped that bunt on the turf at Rogers Center, it might have gone 10 feet.
Pitcher would have had a play, that's for sure.
This is much faster than what we saw in Toronto.
No, you're right.
Taylor struck out on a splitter back in the 2nd. And he's behind 0-2. Now, Odorizzi had sat down 10 straight, and then a 2-out walk to Ruggiano, a bunt base hit for Logan Morrison. Taylor trying to keep the line moving here in the fourth. Zunino is on deck, trying to bring home a run or two. The 0-2 off the plate. You look at the success that Odorizzi has had this year. It's been tremendous, and yet fastball maybe touches 92.
Yeah, he'll be in that 90 to 92 range. Every now and then he might hit 94, but typically 92 miles an hour is what you're going to see. Again, he throws so many splits. I think the hitters are still late on his fastball. And there it is, 92 miles an hour, wasted a fastball up out of the zone.
His splitter has been fantastic. Opponents barely batting 170 against it this year. And hitting beneath 200 on his cutter. 2-2 coming to Taylor. Floating foul. Forsythe giving chase, but out of play.
And that looked like the cutter, just off the plate away.
Now, when David Price was here as the ace of the Tampa Bay Rays, he threw that cutter, and that cutter has kind of trickled down among the pitchers, especially the rotation. Two outs, two on. Strike three called. A fastball and a borderline pitch at best there. Taylor caught looking, and you can understand why he might not have wanted to swing. Two outs and, two left. That'll do it for the top of the fourth inning for the Mariners. Odorizzi now 5 punch-outs. Box in St. Pete. Happy Memorial Day as Logan Forsythe will begin things for Tampa Bay, facing Roenis Elias, who so far has spun 3 scoreless innings, stranding 3 base runners along the way. And Elias starts him off with strike 1. Now, the offense for the Rays so far this year has been pretty middle of the road in just about every category. 10th in average in the American League, 12th in runs, right around that same number in on base percentage and slugging, 9th in homers. Take a look at Kevin Cash. Cash spent some time in the big leagues, a lot of time in the American League East. In fact, Toronto, spent some time here in Tampa Bay, where he was managed by Mariners Hall of Famer Lou Piniella. The Red Sox and the Yankees as well. Cash playing in the Little League World Series. He played in the College World Series. Spent his college days with Florida State. In fact, Mariners infield coach and first base coach Chris Woodward was a teammate of Kevin Cash's when they were together in Toronto. And what he's saying earlier today, that the two of them lived in this area during the offseason. They would take swings together during the winter time. So Chris Woodward knows Kevin Cash very well. Teammates in Toronto. Full count to Forsythe beginning the bottom of the fourth. Elias' payoff pitch way outside and a leadoff walk. Bring on the boom this Saturday at Safeco Field. It's Nelson Cruz Bat Night as the Mariners meet the Cleveland Indians. All kids receive a Little League-sized Nelson Cruz baseball bat. For tickets to Nelson Cruz Bat Night, just visit Mariners.com. Second walk from Elias. It starts the fourth. It brings in Beckham.
On the 3-2 count, that was one of the few changeups that he threw poorly so far in the game. Missed clearly well off the plate away.
Beckham trying to bunt, instead stares at a strike.
Well located fastball in the outside corner.
Beckham filling in for his Dribble Cabrera, a little dinged up with the groin injury suffered last night. And it's 0-2. Beckham recalled today, was just sent down to AAA Durham a few days ago before getting the call back up. Right back to Elias. To Taylor. It'll be close at first. And Lomo off the back. And nap the lead runner, though. That's Forsythe.
You can see Cano and Taylor talking to each other on who was supposed to cover the bag right there. Taylor, if he was the one, he was clearly too far away from the base. It took him some time, and Elias had to wait on him, which you never want to see a pitcher do. You want him to be able to get rid of it quickly. And Taylor coming across right there, so I wonder if there was some communication issue between Taylor and Cano. They will give each other a sign before every pitch to figure out who's going to take the bag if it goes back to the pitcher. And then you can see him having a conversation if they weren't able to turn that double play.
They get just the one. Beckham at first base for Jake Elmore. Elmore spent some time in college in Tempe at Arizona State. From Alabama, he was an avid Alabama football team fan. And he's somebody who can play everywhere for Kevin Cash, the emergency catcher for the Rays. And for Elmore, this is his second time up representing the tie and run. Drew a walk back in the second. Slicing foul. Smith and Logan Morrison chasing after it, a foul ball.
Oh-2 count. Elias tried to elevate a fastball right there. It was up out of the strike zone. See if Mike Zunino wants another one, maybe even a little bit higher. See if he can get him to chase that. He has him an 0-2 count. He does not have to throw him a strike right here.
Just gets a piece.
Excellent changeup.
Elias on the hunt for his 5th strikeout. This is hammered down the line, and a fair ball make it. Beckham with some speed will get held up at third base as Elmore scorched that just fair, and he's in at second. 1 out and 2 in scoring position.
Pretty good hitting from Elmore. This pitch is well in off the plate. They want it elevated. Able to get it towards the top of the strike zone, but you can see on the EQC tracer that pitch is in. And so a pretty good swing by Elmore to keep that ball fair. Typically that far in, hitter will pull it foul. Strong throw by Miller out in left field. Beckham, he wants to score on it.
RBI chance here for Kiermaier. He looked at a first pitch strike.
So hopefully Elias Kiermaier, the only left-handed hitter in the lineup. Hopefully Elias can get a strikeout right here.
Waving at it, really dialed it down. It's about as slow of a curve as you'll see Elias throw. Elias now the 0-2. Got him chasing again. Back-to-back curveballs, and Elias a big-time strikeout. That's his 5th, and the one he needed the most.
Gives him a much better opportunity to get out of the inning without giving up a run. And take a look, another slow breaking ball off the plate away. He just kept throwing it further and further off the plate. So a good plan right there. We're talking about it as good as both pitching staffs are going right now. These little mistakes here and there. Mariners taking advantage of it in the first. Then the Mariners not able to turn that double play, which put Beckham into scoring position. They need to get a strikeout. So Elias, that was the tough part. See if he can get after the hitter here and get out of the inning. Zunino did not like that last changeup. A little bit firm, well off the plate away.
Nick Franklin representing the go-ahead run. Beckham at third, Elmore at second. To center field, right in line with Ruggiano, who really has to drift back. He's able to make the catch, and with that, Elias is able to dance his way out of the bottom of the 4th inning. Mike Zunino will lead things off in the top of the 5th. Then it's on to Steph Smith and Brad Miller. 9-1 and 2 due up for the Mariners as Elias has kept the Rays off the scoreboard. Take a look now at our Geico this date in big league history, and the Mariners, this is an awfully good trade. They pick up Randy Johnson, now a Hall of Famer. We get to see Mark Langston a number of times a year now on radio with the Angels of Anaheim. But we do. Randy Johnson, second most strikeouts in big league history, and he will be going into Cooperstown this summer, and that should be awfully fun to hear what he has to say.
Looking forward to it. Saul Langston, Mike Campbell, former #1 pick for the Mariners, part of that deal. Of course, Brian Holman, really good pitcher, and almost had a perfect game in the big leagues till Ken Phelps, with 2 outs in the 9th, hit a home run off of him. Gene Harris pitched in the bullpen for a while for the Mariners.
We got to see Ken Phelps. He did some games on radio for us in spring training. He loved it. He loved it. I mean, he was there early, had his notes, had the highlighter. He was living for it. 2-1 to Zunino. Longoria charging on the turf. Down number 1.
Was pitched well off the plate away, as Zunino reaching for it. So the ball is not hit firmly, but Longoria, really good defensive third baseman. That's an easy play for him.
1 up, 1 down. Odorizzi's been awfully stingy since the first inning. When the Mariners scored both their runs, it's back at the top with Seth Smith, his 3rd time in the batter's box. One ball and 1 strike. When you look at the American League East so far, and we've had an up-close look at it, the last few series, Boston for 4 games to finish the homestand, and of course Baltimore and Toronto. For years and years, the American League East has been considered one of the powerhouse divisions of the American League, and this year it's really tough when you look at, we've seen every team so far but the Yankees. It's tough to decide right now. There really isn't a clear-cut powerhouse within that division. The Yankees are reeling. They're without Jacoby Ellsbury now. The Tampa Bay Rays somehow in first place in the division. Toronto scores a bunch of runs but gives a bunch of runs up. Into left field, Elmore on the run makes the catch. Kind of a tough division to figure out, though, as we take a look at the standings.
It really doesn't look much different. If you look at the standings and the records and the teams, it doesn't look much different than the West. I wonder what they're saying about the West and what's happening out west right now.
That's a good point. And really, it's kind of the state of the American League overall entering today, as Brad Miller digs in. Only 1/3 of the teams in the American League were above 500. A lot of teams at or below. And 3 of those teams above 500 in the Central. And the Twins, the Royals, and the Tigers. So there's only 2 teams in the American League over 500 entering today outside of the Central. Of course, the Astros more wins than anybody. Miller way ahead 3-0. Brad, a walk and a run scored in the first, struck out on a fastball his last time up in the 3rd. With 2 outs, Cano on deck. 3-1 pitch to Miller and a full count.
And even at 3-1, he doesn't give in to him with a good fastball. Looked like the split, 85 miles an hour off the outside corner.
Odorizzi 5 strikeouts so far. And make it 6. Miller caught looking, the splitter again. That's been a deadly pitch for Odorizzi. We knew that coming in. 6 punch-outs for Odorizzi through 5 innings. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Roenis Elias making his 6th start of the season tonight. So far, 5 strikeouts through the first 4 innings as he faces batters 9-1-2 of the Rays. A pitch shy of number 70 tonight. Here is Rene Rivera. Hit deep to center. This sends Ruggiano way back there. It's off the wall. Rivera in at second base. That was close. And ever since retiring the Rays quickly in order of the first, Elias has had base runners every inning since.
First pitch fastball, and Rivera ambushes this pitch. You can see it's almost in the middle of the plate. Good effort by Ruggiano in center field. He was going to try to slide, catch it over his shoulder. It looks as if it hits the base of the wall and gets past him. See that from time to time. Pitcher just wants to get ahead, start the inning, and the hitter realizes that, decides he's going to take a chance, and he almost hit that out of the ballpark.
Geyer comes up empty. First pitch change up there from Elias. Roenis has stranded 5 base runners so far tonight. He'll have to work around a leadoff double. Taylor ranging the backhand just in time to first.
And a good pitch again from Elias. He goes with the changeup away, hoping the hitter will roll over on it, which is exactly what happens. Taylor able to make the play, but more importantly, you keep the runner at second base. He's not able to advance. Another good pitch by Elias. Take a look at our EQC tracer and the location of that changeup just off the outside corner.
Now facing Joey Butler, batting second for the Rays. Cano's ball takes his time for out number 2. Meanwhile, Rivera advances to third. So 2 outs, but the tie-in run comes to the plate, this time in the form of Evan Longoria. Longoria 0 for 2. Front row view for Lloyd McClendon. Rivera 90 feet from home. Big swing and a high slicer deep to right. Smith, warning track, out number 3. Roenis Elias, he walks the tightrope once again, strands a man 90 feet from home. He's awfully cool. We go to the 6th. Mariners lead at 2-0. Sports is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by Money Tree, proud to make a donation to Mariners Care for every Mariners win. Now the sun's setting outside Tropicana Field. And some early representation of King's Court. We will see the King here inside the Trop on a Wednesday, a day game, a 1 o'clock local time first pitch against Chris Archer.
That will be a great pitching matchup. Archer, what a year he is putting together.
Tremendous. Former Chicago Cub. Signed an extension last season to be a Ray for a while. Check swing by Cano. Appeal. He does not go.
Really like to see the Mariners add on now. They scored the 2 runs in the first. This is the 3rd time through the lineup. You have the middle of your order up. I'd like to scratch out a run or 2 here in this inning. Odorizzi now at 74 pitches.
Quickly on the ground to Beckham. An error earlier, but he handles this one. And it's out number 1. 1 up, 1 down for Cruz. Well, if you like the music of the 1990s, you're going to love our post-game fireworks show this Friday following the Mariners-Indians game. It'll be a pyrotechnic party set to the sounds of the 90s. So get your tickets now for fireworks night by simply going to Mariners.com. Should be a fun one. That brings in Nelson Cruz. 1 up, 1 down. Nelson picked up his 35th RBI of the season back in the first, a single. The 1-0 makes it 2-0. Just got a piece. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cruz right now leading baseball, 17 home runs. And the count tilts even. Right-handed hitters have really scuffled against Odorizzi this year, batting beneath 170 as time is called. Too much slice, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's been so many good things said about Cruz as a teammate in the clubhouse, and when talking with Jack Sorenzik, Mariners general manager, he knew that right away. He said, we date back to our time together in Milwaukee, and he said that was part of the scouting report on Nelson Cruz, is not only what he does with the bat, but what he's like as a teammate inside the clubhouse. Down on strikes. Fastball that time, 6 strikeout on the day for Odorizzi, 2 outs. Hope you can stick around after the game for Mariners post game presented by Delta Airlines.
Odorizzi has been consistent with his fastball. His location has been excellent, and he has been, for the most part, right at 92 miles an hour. Part of the scouting report is that he will elevate his fastball at times, and we have seen that.
Inside corner for a strike to Seager. Haven't seen too many curveballs, have we, Mike?
No, we haven't. It's basically been more splits and his good fastball. Pretty good 2-seamer at times tonight.
Seager on the ground. It hugs the line fair. 11-game hitting streak for Kyle Seager, trying to leg out for 2, and he's in there with a slide.
Beating the shift again. Good decision for Kyle running the bases. He looked up to see what the left fielder was doing, and Elmore looked like he was sitting back just a little bit, taking his time, and Kyle with 2 outside, it was worth the gamble to try to get into second base. I think a strong throw, an accurate throw maybe has a play on him, but a good decision with 2 outs to get into scoring position.
So an 11-game hitting streak, a 20-game on-base streak. The on-base streak extending a career best. Chance with 2 outs for Ruggiano. Odorizzi's pitch count really getting up there now. On the ground, chopping to Longoria. High throw. Ruggiano is out. Seager stranded at second base after the double. And we are off to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mariners have the lead. Who gave everything in their service to our country. So very happy Memorial Day. Here from inside Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida, where the Mariners begin this 3-game series. Logan Forsythe to begin things. And a first pitch missing from Elias. First pitch curve. Forsythe a walk and a strikeout. And this is punished to left field. And Miller doesn't have a chance. Forsythe puts the Rays on the board. And they are within 1 run.
Well, for Elias, he has not made too many mistakes tonight. But after missing with his first pitch, he comes back with a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and it is right in the middle of the plate, and Forsythe jumps all over it, over the first row of bleachers. His 5th home run.
That was a shot. And so with that, now every Rays batter represents a tying run. And it begins with Tim Beckham. Beckham, the former #1 overall draft pick back in 2008 by Tampa Bay, taken ahead of Eric Hosmer, who went #3 overall to the Royals, taken before Buster Posey, who went 5th to San Francisco. He's ahead of the count 2-0. Beckham a single and a fielder's choice. He has been left stranded at third base both times. And he's in the driver's seat, 3-0. Jake Elmore on deck, a double his last time up that just stayed fair. Pours in a strike, 3-1. Full count now, so back-to-back strikes. That one just clipped in the corner. Elias looking for the first out. And his payoff pitch to center field, but Ruggiano coming straight in for out number one. That'll bring in Elmore. On this Memorial Day, USAA honors those who gave everything in their service to our country. Big thank you from all of us here at Root Sports. One out, nobody on. A run in already. Forsythe the homer. And the first pitch to Elmore. Missing just a bit outside for ball one.
Not surprised to see that fastball off the plate away. Elmore had a fastball that was well in off the plate, and he hit it hard down the left field line, so trying to keep the ball away from him. Well located fastball right there on the outside corner.
That makes it 1-1. Not many at-bats so far this season for Elmore. Spent some time in AAA with Durham. The 2-1. Seager ranging.
Better hustle after it.
Taylor trying to pick it up. Elmore into second. They'll stay put there.
Kyle doing what he's supposed to. As a third baseman, if you can cut it off and get to the ball, you're supposed to try to get it unless the shortstop calls you off. And I think Kyle thought he was going to be able to glove that. We've seen him make that play a number of times. Taylor going right behind him in case he gets past Kyle. Unfortunately, went off the end of his glove, rolls out, and on the carpet, the ball is going to roll a little bit farther, so it turns into a double. Probably should have been an infield hit.
Second double and as many at-bats for Elmore as now Rick Waits is out of the bullpen. Will be activated.
And Mark Lowe is going to start throwing in the pen. 86 pitches right now for Elias. Kevin Jepson is up in the Tampa Bay pen. The Rays so far tonight 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position.
Elias has really been able to buckle down the last 5 innings, really 4 innings, after retiring the side in order in the first when he's had men at second or third base. Here's Kiermaier. And he starts him off with strike one.
Mixing things up on him. Kiermaier in his last at bat, it was 3 breaking balls. Elias dropping down his arm angle. All of the pitches off the plate away, and he starts him off with a fastball to get ahead of him.
Outside, got him chasing after that curve.
And again, well off the plate away.
And dropping the arm angle, that's something that we'll see Elias do from time to time against the lefty.
Yeah, I talked to Rick Waits about it. Rick said that that's the only time he'll do it is against left-handers. And I asked him if he had an issue with it because they've talked to Elias about his arm angle and trying to repeat pitches. And he said against the lefties, he has a good feel for it. He's fine with him doing that.
Got him chasing. Dazzled him with the curve again. Elias his 6th strikeout, and that's a big one.
Well, after the fastball, 2 breaking balls, both of them well off the plate away. You can see him drop down. Takes a lot off of it, only 78 miles an hour. Not much of a chance for Kiermaier.
He struck out on the hook back of the 4th. Now Cano and Zunino. Bit of a conference call up on the mound. In steps Nick Franklin. Franklin, the go-ahead run, the tying run. Elmore, who doubled, is out at second base. Franklin 0 for 2, a couple of fly ball outs. In fact, Franklin's had some RBIs left on the base paths. When he flew out into second, he had runners at first and third base. When he flew out to center in the 4th, he had runners at second and third. The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Elias just over 90 pitches. And Franklin way ahead now, 3-0. Not many big league at-bats this year for Franklin. Has spent some time with the disabled list with an oblique injury. It's only his 7th game. The 3-0. And he misses high. 4-pitch walk to Franklin with 2 outs. 3rd walk tonight from Elias.
There's a couple of things in play right here. Rivera hasn't done much swinging the bat. He did have a double in this game, but I think you look at where the Rays are, and if they bring in Mark Lowe right now, I think you're going to see De Jesus, the veteran, come off the bench to hit for him. So I think Lloyd feels that Elias is a better opportunity against Rivera in this situation than having the veteran De Jesus get a chance to pinch hit.
We come back here. Elias lobs to first base, and Roenis Elias has walked the tight wire once again here in the 6th, and for the most part has survived. Forsythe, the leadoff homer. That's been the only run so far tonight for the Rays. And then after a walk to Nick Franklin, a little weak comebacker here by Rivera, and below he was able to get out of it again.
It was maybe a little nervous on this throw to first, but not a problem. He's done an excellent job today of pitching out of some trouble in a tight ball game. And when you look at this series, you felt like the games were going to be this way. And Elias has held the Rays 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position.
Here comes pitch number 100 for Odorizzi. Logan Morrison through the right side. And Lomo is aboard. His second hit, a bunt base hit, his last time up, and he leads off the 7th at first base.
Number 1, Chris Taylor.
That brings in Chris Taylor. Activity brewing in the bullpen for the Rays. The bunt, and it's foul.
Well, he tried to bunt it in the right direction, but unfortunately he dropped the barrel and ended up going foul. You want to bunt this towards the first baseman if you can, especially with Longoria, the veteran, He will crash in early at third, and if he gets a chance to make a play at second to get the lead runner, he will do it. First baseman has to wait until the ball is headed towards home.
One ball to one strike to Taylor. Now 4 hits his last 2 games. Said earlier today from inside the clubhouse he's a little more upright in his stance, keeping his hands higher as well. Some small minor mechanical adjustments as Logan Morrison able to get back in time.
My guess would be that there was a hit and run on right there, and I wouldn't be surprised if Lloyd takes it off now. And the reason is sometimes you'll throw over like that, and if the hitter flinches as Logan did, it tells the other dugout that there's a hit and run on, and there might be a pitch out, and there it is. You can see him give the sign.
And a move to first.
Steve Geltz getting loose in the pen for the Rays.
Taylor on the left side. Beckham on his second. Taylor too much speed though. He's safe at first. Logan Morrison cut down, out number 1. And a fielder's choice for Chris Taylor. The Mariners and EQC give a salute to the U.S. servicemen and women with the ticket discount offered at nearly every home game. Present your military ID at the Safeco Field box office and receive 10% off select main, terrace, or view level seats. To all who serve our country, we thank you. 1 out, 1 on for Zunino, looking for his first hit tonight. Had a deep fly ball out to center back in the second.
It looks as if Elias is done. Mark Lowe up, getting loose in the pen again.
And for Elias tonight, the pitch count hasn't been outrageous. He is at 94. We've seen him certainly go over 100, but it kind of goes back to the stress pitches side of things.
No, you're right. He had a lot of innings where he was trying to pitch out of trouble and was able to do it. And I think that Lloyd probably feels that's enough for him now.
There goes Taylor. Throw to second. Tag applied. He's out.
This is one of the better throws we've seen this year from a catcher. Rene Rivera, I thought it was a pretty good jump by Taylor at first, and Rene Rivera throws this thing about belt high right on the money. That's just a perfect throw.
Franklin on the receiving end, you're right.
Franklin also was going to get fined in Kangaroo Court. After he tagged him out, he went running off the field. He thought it was the third out.
That is probably going to happen. Then.
Yes.
Not the first time that Franklin has been involved with Kangaroo Court, I have to imagine. 2-2.
Yeah, the Rays have the shift on. There's Zunino hitting. You see Nick Franklin, the second baseman, on the left side of the infield.
The 2-2 to Longoria. Belt high, out number 3. After the leadoff single, the Mariners retired in order with the caught stealing. And that'll do it for the Mariners as Odorizzi has retired the Mariners 1-2-3 in 4 of the first 7 innings, but the Mariners have the lead. Now, right now, we'll stay right here inside Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Florida on this Memorial Day for God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the nights with the lights from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans, white with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Fans, it's time for the 7th.
Consider how Washington's lottery win would change your bucket list. Play today. It's on to the bottom of the 7th here inside Tropicana Field. Mariners holding the lead 2-1. Roenis Elias, another quality start. Make that now 5 in a row as we take a look at our Lexus pitching comparison, Mike, for tonight's 2 starters.
Well, for Elias, he just continues to be solid for the Mariners. Pitched well in Baltimore and backed that up today with 6 innings. 1 earned run. It was a solo home run. He had 6 strikeouts. Walked 3 batters, 94 pitches, 64 of those for strikes. Odorizzi, he has been tough as well. You can see Mariners scoring 2 runs, only 1 of them earned off of him.
Dustin Ackley now in center field, taking over for Ruggiano. As we begin the bottom of the 7th, Mark Lowe taking over for Elias. First pitch to Geyer, up and in. For Elias, if you include the run tonight that he gave up, it's only 3 runs in his last 24 innings.
Mark has really pitched well. A 1.29 ERA for Lowe. This will be his 9th appearance on the year. Opponent's hitting .231.
Little chopper, tough play. Low, a strike to first base. That's a fine play by Lowe just to get to the ball, then to be able to put off an accurate, strong throw to first.
Well, especially for a power pitcher, because he's always going to fall off towards the first base side. Had to reverse, come back, and get rid of it quickly. Unfortunately, didn't turn his ankle.
You can see the approval there from Logan Morrison.
And whenever you're trying to protect a 1-run lead, it's critical to get the first hitter out. So a good play by Lowe. First pitch to Butler, a swing and a miss. Lloyd was talking today about Lowe before the game and saying how hard that was to have to send Lowe to AAA Tacoma to begin the season, and how well he pitched in spring training. Check swing, a little flare, and Lobo is on the receiving end. And the tough thing about spring training, Mike, you know this very well,
there are no radar guns, so you cannot get a great sense of velocity for pitchers. At least, of course, the scouts have the guns, but for people in the press box, it can be tough at times, depending on the ballpark, to get the velocities. But Lloyd was talking about how well that Lowe threw in springtime, and that he was right around the 95, 96 mark, and of course, we've seen him hit 97.
His last 2 outings, that's exactly where it was at, 95, 96, and it had an improved slider. And I felt, and I'm glad that you said that, Aaron, because I felt as if it was going to be a really tough decision. Now, the Mariners had the best bullpen in the American League last year, and a lot of those guys were back and trying to figure out what they were going to do with Mark. But since he's come back up, with every outing, he's getting put into more and more important spots. And when you have a 1-run lead and you're pitching in the 7th inning, that's pretty good. And he has been there since he's been called up. 95, 96 miles an hour, at times 97, with a good slider.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Longoria in his career, he's 3 for 7 against Lowe.
A strike call. Activity in the bullpen. Geltz and McGee. McGee a fireballer. He's a tough one. And time called. McGee some time on the disabled list. In fact, to begin the season would have been the closer. He's back healthy, but not closing right now. Lowe's 2-1 pitch. 96 that time, but wide. Longoria, the tying run. Full count.
Everything away from Longoria. That's to be expected at this point in the game. You're late.
Forsythe on deck. He homered in the 6th, the only run so far tonight for the Rays. Two outs. They have the payoff pitch off the hands and a shallow center, and it drops in for a base hit. Tying run at first base with 2 outs. The New York Yankees make their only Safeco Field appearance of the year for a 3-game series beginning Monday, June 1st. Tuesday, June 2nd is Kyle Seager bobblehead night, courtesy of Root Sports, and Wednesday, June 3rd is a special 12:40 start time. For tickets, visit Mariners.com. 2 outs, Longoria at first base. In steps Forsythe. A walk and a home run tonight. And the dirt, Longoria breaking to second. And he's in there safely.
That will be a wild pitch and a great play by Zunino. Nate Mark ended up spiking a slider well out in front of the plate. The veteran Longoria paying attention at first, and as soon as he saw it in the dirt, he took off.
Makes things 90 feet easier for the Rays with 2 outs.
Carson Smith and Charlie Furbush starting to get loose in the pen for the Mariners.
Strike that time. Righty and a lefty for the Mariners. One and one. Lowe's pitch gets him swinging, and a strike away from getting this one into the 8th. Now the Rays have had plenty of chances in this one. Elias was stingy. Now it's up to Lowe. On the way, Lowe's 1-2 up the middle. Cano right behind the bag for out number 3. Longoria stranded at scoring position, and once again the Rays leave another base runner. That is 9 left on for Tampa Bay through 7 innings. We're off to the 8th. Run as we begin things in the top of the 8th inning. Well, would you like to win tickets to Kyle Seager bobblehead night on June 2nd against the Yankees? Just text Seager to 71532 and you can win 2 tickets in the commissioner's box plus your very own 7-inch collectible of the Gold Glover. Kyle Seager tonight extending his hitting streak to 11 games, his on-base streak to 20 games. New pitcher up on the mound for the Rays. Jake Odorizzi done after 7 innings, and we say hello to Steve Geltz, a right-hander.
For Geltz, his 19th appearance on the year. Again, strong bullpen for the Rays. 2.84 ERA for him. 24 strikeouts over 19 innings. That's a good number. Opponent's hitting just 138.
Facing Seth Smith to begin the top of the 8th. A pop-up behind home. And out of the range of Rivera for strike 1. Now, Mike, you said near the top of the broadcast how similar these two teams are offensively. And tonight, there's no doubt the story of the evening for Tampa Bay has been runners in scoring position. They have left plenty of men at second and third base.
I have them 0 for 10 tonight.
Wow. They've left 9 overall.
Talked about Elias and what a good job he did again for the Mariners. Mark Lowe really pitched well in the 7th inning. 8th inning coming up, it will be Carson Smith. He's getting loose in the bullpen.
He has really earned Lloyd's trust, and for good reason.
Well, we were talking about it. I think Mark has too.
Yeah,
it's an important situation, and he put him out there in it, and he did well. If you take a look at Carson Smith.
Smith ahead of the count, 2-1. And some credit to Odorizzi in this one tonight. Mike gave up the 2 runs early, and you thought that maybe the Mariners would have a chance to get to Odorizzi, who has been so stingy this year, an ERA beneath 2.5. But ever since that first inning, Odorizzi then went 6 scoreless.
Well, and that's the reason why I thought it was important. The Rays come out, make an error, something that they rarely do. He walked a batter, something that he rarely does, and you would like to take advantage of that before he finds it and settles in. Opponent's hitting under 150 against him with runners in scoring position, so give the Mariners a lot of credit. Cano and Cruz both coming up with big base hits off of him to drive in those 2 runs, and then he settled in and has been the pitcher that he has been all year for him.
Yeah, at one point he retired 10 in a row. 3-2 to Smith with the shift, and it rolls into center field. Beckham has had some problems. Smith digging for second to throw wide. And for a team who's been the best in the American League defensively, we've seen a couple of mishaps.
Well, again, yeah, you're right. And this is off of Beckham's glove. And Cabrera had a groin issue in yesterday's ball game, so Beckham is the shortstop this evening, and the Mariners are taking advantage of it. And good hustle by Seth Smith. He hits this ball hard, gets a fastball out over the plate. And you take a look at it, Beckham going down to the ground, goes off the side of his glove. And Seth taking advantage of that. Ends up in second base. Lead this thing off, a double for Seth. Mariners with a great opportunity to try to get an insurance around the corners for the Rays are playing in, expecting the bunt.
And steps Brad Miller. Squaring to bunt already. And a first pitch strike from Getz. Geltz will make it. Brad tonight walked and scored back in the first, a couple of strikeouts since.
Well, if Brad's going to bunt, he needs to bunt it to Longoria at third. Make him come in and field the bunt so that Seth Smith can walk into third.
1-1. Mariners sinking some insurance here in the 8th inning. They have the leadoff man at second base.
Right there you see Geltz with that spin move. He's not worried about Smith trying to steal. He wants to see what Brad is going to do at home plate, and Brad squared around, and that's what he wanted to see. Let his defense know that he's still going to bunt. Problem with that is sometimes the opposing team, the defensive team, will put a wheel play on. And so Seth Smith will have to be aware of that when he's out at second.
Pulls it back. Ball 2.
Basically what the wheel play is Longoria will break sooner to get on top of Brad, and Brad's trying to bunt the ball to him, and the shortstop will come in behind Smith and leave his position completely and race to third to try to get the lead runner.
Two balls and one strike to Miller. Swinging this time, but he comes up empty.
See a lot of managers do that in a 2-1 count, especially Brad showing bunt the way that he had, and they're assuming he's going to get a fastball to hit for a strike, and that's what happened right there. Unfortunately, Brad missed it. You get the defense moving around a little bit and try to take advantage of it.
Trying to take advantage too of a leadoff double. Nobody out. And a 2-2 to Miller. On the corner, strike 3 call. That's a tough pitch. Miller strikes out looking. We take a look at the best record on Memorial Day since the Mariners have been around, and the Mariners have been the best. 23-12, trying to extend that to twin number 24 tonight if they can hold on to this 2-1 lead.
Cano tonight 1 for 3. Had a base hit in the first inning, drove in a run.
Taking strike 1. Smith the double at second base. Cano hard hit on the ground and through. Smith to third. Donnelly waving him home. Here's the throw from Geyer. It's not close. Cano takes second base, and Robinson Cano comes up with a big hit in the clutch. He makes it 3-1 Mariners.
Take a look at it. Cano gets an off-speed pitch, 82 miles an hour. Looks like a changeup. He leaves up in the zone, hits it hard into right field. Robbie's watching the play, and when this throw is wide of the cutoff man, Cano will take second base. Poor throw. And you can see Robbie taking off. No chance for Rivera to try to cut him down at second base.
Now for Cano, this is his first multi-RBI game since April 21st, so good to see that from Robinson, who stands at second. Here is Nelson Cruz. Looks at strike one. Cruz an RBI single back of the first. Towering high pop-up. It's Geyer, the right fielder, for round number 2. That'll bring in Seager. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions do apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. 2 outs, Cano at second base. And here comes Kyle Seager.
As you would expect, they're going to put Kyle on. Dustin Ackley waiting on deck, and Kyle now with an 11-game hitting streak. He's been a hot hitter for the Mariners, so they're going to put Kyle on and pitch to Dustin Ackley.
So 4 wide ones coming right here. Now for Seager, we mentioned an 11-game hitting streak. He is getting closer and closer to his career best. He had a 16-game hitting streak back in 2013. Also had a 15-game streak that season. It's starting to look more and more realistic with each night that he gets ahead.
Let's hope he goes well past it.
Well past it.
It's a good thing for the Mariners.
I think this is, that almost got away. We're starting to see, of course, Cruz has been essentially hot all season. Seager has been blistering hot for the last week and change, and hopefully tonight with what we're seeing from Robinson Cano, a couple of hits, a couple of RBIs. We have not seen this lineup with all 3 swinging the bat well at one time this year.
No, for the most part we haven't, and you have to hope that this is something that's going to start Robinson. He's eventually going to get there, and I'm sure Lloyd would like to see it earlier than later, and a couple of hits tonight, a good sign for him. Ackley did not start the game. Ruggiano was the starting center fielder. Dustin came in for him last inning, and now he'll get a chance to drive in a run.
And now a trip out to the mound as they want to talk things over. Jim Hickey, the pitching coach.
Nobody throwing in the pen.
Kevin Cash was asked today, the first-year manager of the Rays. The question was posed by a local member of the Tampa Bay media. Kevin, essentially outside of Nelson Cruz, the reporter asked, there's not a whole lot to be worried about with the Mariners lineup. Is the way the question was posed to Cash, and he said, well, he's like, I think you need to take a look at the top 5 in this order, especially 2 through 5. And he, tell you what, he could rattle off the numbers for Seager, for Miller, and he said essentially what you said, Lowe, that Cano's going to hit, and he said hopefully he doesn't figure it out in the next 3 games. But he had a lot of respect for this Mariners lineup as Ackley looks at strike one.
Well, he's somebody that understands it's a long season, and eventually those guys have a resume, and they're going to get closer to those numbers.
Two outs and 2 on. A ball and a strike. Geltz pitching behind Odorizzi, who went 7 strong innings tonight at the start.
It is interesting to me that Jake McGee, who was up last inning getting loose in the pen, the hard-throwing left-hander, isn't up now. You have Morrison, another left-handed hitter, waiting on deck, but nobody throwing in the Rays' pen.
Now, McGee is vicious.
95 to 97 miles an hour. He's a hard-throwing left-hander.
That's nasty stuff. You want no part of McGee. Ackley to center field. Kiermaier doesn't have to move a whole lot. There it is. Out number 3, the Mariners strand 2, but a run comes home. The RBI single by Robinson Cano, and a little bit of breathing room for the Mariners. They lead it by 2.
The winning number is Fox 50-50 raffle.
In any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Seattle Mariners. Now, you know, they call this place the Thunderdome for a reason. It's hot and muggy, but it also rains a lot. And from inside Tropicana Field, you can see, if you look up at the roof close enough, this kind of skin-like roof, you can actually see the rain pounding away on the roof here. A roof for a reason as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And we'll have a new pitcher for the Mariners, Mark Lowe, pitching well in the 7th, able to work around a man at second base. That was Longoria. And he gives way now to Carson Smith. Now Smith has become, in essence, the 8th inning man for the Mariners recently.
As you look at Smith's numbers, his 22nd appearance already. ERA 0.90. 23 strikeouts in the 20 innings that he has pitched. Opponents hitting just 132 against him. Good fastball, be in the mid-90s with a hard slider.
Carson leading the Mariners in holds. And also tonight marking the 13th straight time he's pitched in the 8th inning or later. We know that Lloyd likes to stay away from labels in the bullpen outside of Fernando Rodney's my closer.
Right.
And he's not the only manager to do that. We're seeing that more and more in today's game, but Carson Smith has developed a long line of credit with Lloyd as that comes up and in.
They hit him.
And it gets a piece. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
And it'll be a pinch hitter. David DeJesus has come out. He will pinch hit for Elmore.
Your attention, please. Pitching for Elmore, number 7, David DeJesus.
Brandon Gomes getting loose in the pen for the Rays. And Rick Wake's pitching coach for the Mariners making a trip out to the mound. No, I think you're right, Aaron, on that. And I think there's a good reason behind it. Things happen over the course of the season and you need to make changes. But right now, I think obviously Rodney is the closer. Carson's going to pitch the 8th inning. And I think you're going to see Mark Lowe, it looks like, now pitch the 7th, and you'll sprinkle in some Charlie Furbush in the 7th and 8th, depending on when Lloyd McClendon wants to use him against a tough left-handed hitter.
Now, DeJesus has been a tough customer lately. You can see what he's done since May 4th. Among the best in baseball, just beneath 400. He was a designated hitter last night for the Rays against Oakland, went 0 for 4. The number was even higher before last night.
And Charlie is getting loose.
DeJesus to tie and run.
And Charlie was up last inning, so it's not going to take much for him to be ready. Kiermaier on deck. Another left-handed hitter.
The 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. And there's a strike. Two balls and 2 strikes. Jesus hitting everyone well this year, but he's had all but 3 of his at-bats against righties this season. You can see the role that Kevin Cash has him fill, and batting nearly .320 against right-handed pitchers this season with all 4 of his home runs. This is not a walk in the park for Carson Smith. And the 2-2. Strike 3 call. The slider on the top shelf. That's a huge out, number 1.
It is the slider, De Jesus. I think he figured this pitch was up in the zone, a little bit too high, but you can see on our EQC tracer right at the top line.
One out, 1 on. Here's Kiermaier. First pitch swinging to center. Ackley was far back, and he's able to make a chin high catch.
Tough night for Kiermaier. A couple of strikeouts. Looked bad against Elias, and this time he squares it up. And fortunately for the Mariners, it was right at Dustin Ackley. And a pretty good break for Dustin. He reads it right away. Able to run in and make the catch. Good play.
Beckham, who was hit by the pitch at first base. And here is Nick Franklin. Franklin batting left-handed for the first time tonight. Nick 0 for 2 with a walk. One ball and 1 strike. Franklin a couple of fly ball outs tonight. Outside. Now you can see already how big that run by the Mariners in the top half of this inning. The single by Cano to score Smith. How big that is. The 2-1. And it evens things up. A strikeout, a fly ball out to center. Now trying to finish off Nick Franklin, who calls time. Keeping an eye there on Beckham. Beckham has been on the bases 3 times tonight. Has been stranded at third twice. Smith delivers, and Franklin just gets a piece. And caught a lot of the plate.
A little bit too much of the plate. Middle in and elevated. We know this about Nick from his time in Seattle. He can put a charge into one, so you have to make some good pitches to him. Not sure if he wanted to throw that slider at his back foot or maybe throw it off the plate away and try to catch the outside corner, but it ended up more middle in.
Zunino tracking it up the line. Count goes full. Rivera on deck. Smith climbs the back of the mound, trying to end this bottom of the 8th inning. Three balls, 2 strikes to Franklin. He's the tying run. And here it comes. Left side and a diving stab by Kyle Seager. That's highway robbery. Time to go polish off the Gold Glove. Now this road trip has been one of fine defensive plays by Kyle Seager, and this one you can add to the highlight reel. Another runner left stranded, 10 tonight for the Rays. Seager showed up, and we take a look right here, Mike, at our Big Fish Casino big catch, and it's exactly what the Mariners were looking for.
And we've seen Kyle make this play a couple of times on the road trip. If that gets past him, the Mariners are going to have some issues, and Kyle, great defensive play.
What a road trip it's been for Seager, both at the plate and in the field. Brandon Gomes, the new pitcher, up on the mound. Taking over for Steve Geltz, and first pitch missing low from Gomes to Logan Morrison. Gomes in his 5th season with Tampa Bay. Little squibber, and it stays foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
For Gomes, his 15th appearance, a 1.76 ERA. Again, this is a quality bullpen for the Rays. Opponents hitting .220 against him. 1-1 record overall. The Rays have the shift on with Morrison hitting. And you can see Nick Franklin, he's playing about as deep as any second baseman we've seen this year. And backing up a little bit more.
He's close to medium depth. The 1-1. Gomes has allowed only 3 runs this year. Gave up 2 runs to the Yankees back in late April. Gave up 1 run in an outing to begin this month right here in St. Pete against the Orioles. But those were the only 2 outings that he has allowed runners to score. Tonight his 15th appearance. 1-2. High the opposite way. Kiermaier able to curl over and make the catch for 1 out. All right, now let's go back to the Ford Sports Desk and check in with Angie.
The shortstop, Christina.
right, Angie, thank you. First pitch strike to Taylor as we have a new left fielder, David DeJesus, who pinch hit. Pinch hit for Elmore, struck out. High the opposite way, shallow right field. Tough play. Geyer covering a lot of turf, and he's there for round number 2. Now we take a look at the Mariners calendar, brought to you by Sleep Country USA, as we begin the final leg of this 3-city 9-game road trip. We'll play tomorrow night as well, and then the series finale, a day game, 1:05 the local time. First pitch on a Wednesday, Felix versus Chris Archer, a fine pitching matchup, and then an 11-game homestand. The Indians, the Yankees, and then the Tampa Bay Rays once more. The shift on for Zunino, strike 1. Couple of fly ball outs off of Gomes to begin things in the 9th. And Zunino behind 0-2. Now we will be seeing Fernando Rodney in the bottom of this 9th inning to pitch against his former team. Right now a 2-run lead. Fouled off the hand, still 0-2. You have to have the sentries at the bullpen. Always on guard here, the exposed bullpens. You see these in Oakland, San Francisco. Two outs, bases clean. Here comes the 0-2. Two runs in the first for the Mariners off of Odorizzi, the starter, then 1 run last inning off of Geltz. And the count evens up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Zunino ready, 2-2. And here it comes. Stays alive. When we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, Rodney will face 9-1-2. That's Rivera, Geyer, and Butler. The bench pretty thin tonight for Kevin Cash. We saw DeJesus. That was the only left-handed batter available on the bench. Cabrera, a switch hitter, but dinged up. Once more the 2-2, and Zunino continues to battle.
Elevated fastball. He's seen a bunch of off-speed pitches, and one of the things with Mike, been handling those pitches pretty well. If they make some mistakes in the strike zone with him, he's hit them well, and in this at-bat, he's fouled off a number of those pitches. That was a pretty good elevated fastball that he was able to foul straight back.
And now Rivera out. The 2-2. Full count. And you saw Rivera set up outside. Smith on deck if Zunino can reach. Holds back on it. High fly towards the corner in left field. DeJesus watching, and it's gone. It stays fair, and Zunino floats it right past the pole, and he gives the Mariners some cushion. A 2-out insurance home run in the 9th inning. What a battle by Zunino.
I was just talking about how much better he has been on the off-speed pitches. He gets to a 3-2 count, and in the 9th pitch of this at-bat, it is an off-speed pitch, 79 miles an hour, and it is left middle in. They want to go away with it and take a look at where this is at. Just a little cement mixer, spinner of a slider. Didn't do much of anything, and he gives this thing a ride over the bleachers in left field.
First pitch swinging. Seth Smith out to center. Kiermaier can't make the catch. Smith into second base. Back-to-back doubles for Smith. He doubled in the 8th. Does so again here in the 9th. And we mentioned earlier, Gomes had allowed runs in only 2 outings so far this year. Gives up the homer to Zunino. Now the double to Smith. And that'll bring in Miller. First pitch to Brad. He pops it up. Beckham, the shortstop, wants it. And he gets it. Zunino, though, a 2-out homer on a 9-pitch at-bat against Brandon Gomes. The Mariners have given Fernando Rodney 3 runs to work with. Go to the bottom of the 9th inning. We take a look at the Alaska Super Bowl. Roenis Elias getting the start tonight. 1 run over 6 innings, 6 strikeouts along the way. Elias, his 5th straight quality start. Kyle Seager extending his hitting streak to 11 games. And what's new? Flashing a little bit of leather along the way. Zunino, 2 outs. 2 strikes against him in the top of this 9th inning. And he almost punched a hole in the roof here at Tropicana Field. He seemed to know it right away. So here it is, Fernando Rodney facing his former team, Mike.
Looking for his 13th save on the year for Fernando. 18 strikeouts in 17 1/3. He's really had a good fastball here in the first couple of months of the season. He'll be anywhere from 93 to 97 miles an hour, and of course the great changeup.
It has been Elias, then Lowe, then Carson Smith. And now Fernando Rodney facing Rene Rivera, the number 9 hitter. A double back in the 5th. He jumps on the first, and it's vacuumed up right there by Seager. 1 pitch, 1 out, 2 to go. More good stuff from Seager.
Makes it look easy. Kind of a tricky hop. Ball was hooking down to him and hit right towards the cut of that grass where the dirt is. Kyle able to handle it.
Rodney, 2 years here in Tampa Bay. Picked up 85 saves in 2 seasons. Was an all-star with the Rays. First pitch missing to Geyer. Rodney looking for his 13th save of this season. Lynn Perkins leads the big leagues and the American League, of course, with 16. Broken bat, splintered. Rodney looking for it to first.
Well, he's laughing about it now. Well, that is really tough. You mentioned splintering it. Pieces of wood are flying out to the mound. The ball is coming at him. He couldn't find it right away. Good news, he was able to throw a strike to Morrison after all of that.
That's the new low 3/4 that Fernando's been working on. So 2 outs on 3 pitches. And here is Joey Butler, the last hope for the Rays. And Fernando starts him off with strike 1 with the changeup. Oh, 2. 2 straight changeups to Butler. And Rodney 1 strike away from locking down a win for the Mariners. And his 13th save. Rodney's 0-2. Change up again. And that fastball has to look even quicker to home after 3 of those pitches.
It will look like 100 miles an hour, and he hasn't seen it yet.
1-2. Fights it away. There's the heater. Elias tonight, 1 run over 6 innings. Gave up the home run to Forsythe. That's been the only run tonight for Tampa Bay. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th inning. The 1-2 off the plate by Plenty. So 3 straight changeups and back-to-back heaters. The 2-2 gets him swinging right through the. Oh, he just got a piece of the changeup. Right back to the backstop. Butler, a little bit of a battle here with 2 outs. And the next pitch through the right side, a base hit. The Rays have some life. Two-out base hit for Butler. That's his first hit tonight. That brings in Longoria.
Well, he kept swinging, hoping to get the fastball, and he gets one. It's the best fastball Rodney's thrown so far in the inning. 96 miles an hour out over the plate.
Longoria, a single back in the 7th that extended his hitting streak to 9 games, facing his former teammate. That one gets away for ball 1. This time a strike, 1-1. Mariners 3-3 on this road trip. Looking to go to 4-3. And Rodney behind 2-1. Now Rodney got 2 outs with the first 3 pitches. Rivera the ground out. Same story for Geyer, right back to the mound. Rodney's 2-1. Big rip and a miss there.
All fastballs so far, 4 pitches. See that last fastball at 93. Well, Rodney so far has ranged with his heater tonight, 93 to 96 miles an hour, and Longoria has not seen a changeup.
The 2-2 hit well to left field. Miller ranging over. He's there to make the squeeze, and the Mariners take game 1 of the series against the Tampa Bay Rays And once again, Mike, another win for the Mariners on this road trip, and it begins with the quality start by Elias.
No, you're right. 6 innings, just the 1 run for Elias. Turn it over to the bullpen for the last 3 innings. They throw a shutout, so good stuff. And some clutch hitting today, especially in the first inning. You have Robinson Cano, a couple of base hits, drives in 2 runs today, Cruz with an RBI, and Mike Zunino some insurance with the long home run.
That was a beauty, too. The Rays, meanwhile, they strand 11 base runners. The Mariners pitching very well with men at second and third base tonight. So the Mariners start off this series on a high note. They win it tonight by a final score of 4-1 and now move to 21-23 on the season. Well, Mariners postgame presented by Delta Airlines starts right now. Angie?